Welcome to Alchemy Avenue, where we transform in real time, trust the vibe, and grow on purpose. This isn't just a podcast, it's a movement, a reminder that you don't need fixing, just unlocking. Around here, we laugh, we build, we heal, and we elevate, all powered by that deep inner knowing that says, this is exactly where I'm meant to be. You were made for this version of you, so let's expand, let's enjoy it, and let's keep becoming who we already are. Tap in. This is Alchemy Avenue. Welcome back to another amazing episode. Let's get into it today. Today we're going to dive into a concept I've heard before, but just my perspective and what opened up for me just doing this path of just learning myself better and being able to hold myself in spaces where I want to be. So today we're going to talk about the weight of worthiness, and we're going to come from it from a different vantage point than something that you got to carry. So learning to hold the good when life starts working. So when the good day feels strange, and this is where it opened itself to like a new idea, a new perspective on, how you hold or how you even view yourself as being worthy of just everything that you've been asking for, and everything you've been putting out vibrationally. Then when things line up in, multiple ways, and then you have more smooth situations than you've had before, your body, your mind, your nervous system, it starts to, you actually retraining it when you have those situations. So how it started for me, it was really after a clean, really all my days are clean far as work and everything, because I really don't let stuff get to me, so I work in a very high-end dealership where I do service. So I'm coordinating, arrivals, coordinating, valet drivers, transporters, dealing with the, particular customers that's there, not there, states away, and a whole bunch of other stuff with the technicians, and just dealing with all the things that go into what I do. And also, we deal with sales. So it's a lot of stuff that go into, just organizing, preparing, and really just kind of being clear about how you move. So, but when you are good at that, you get a lot of opportunities. I say that, a lot of opportunities to, correct things, and figure things out. So just, really just problem solve, or not even say problem solve, just always finding solutions for different things. So really the day was super. Most of my day, I'm talking about most, even by the end of the day, my days are generally like, okay, boom, we figured it out. But this one in particular though, was just a little different. So move through conversations clearly, no tension, no friction. And I sat in the car and my mind was super, super clear. And ever since I kind of had this new perspective about just allowing, just a different level of allowing situations, and don't try to, hold space of I gotta protect like my mind, I gotta do all these things. Just allow and understanding who I am supersedes, and that the vibration that I'm vibrating supersedes any drama, any situation. I'm not saying they don't happen. It's just you view them very, 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 very different. And I really don't know how to make that make more sense than that. But you just view challenges way, way, way different. But my body felt, I would have called it, and we kind of talked about this a few episodes ago, I would have called it not fear, but like anxiety. But it really was just calibration. My body, cause my mind already understands where I want to be, and definitely working on, continuing to work on that and just pouring into myself. But your body though takes a little longer to catch up, your nervous system and everything. So my body just felt something. It was just like, wow. This newness, I guess, is new and this consistent, the way I just been moving. And I realized in that moment, I wasn't really nervous. My system was really adjusting to things going right. And whatever that is for you, things going right. Again, I'm not saying that day or
my life is absent of challenges, but being in a space where you understand everything always works out for you. You always have the answer, the keys, the blueprint for whatever's going on. And then once you think like that, stuff and different things just start falling into place. And even if, again, I like how Bashar, I don't know if you all know about Bashar, but just look him up. He's a Daryl Anka. He channels Bashar, and he talks about how you already have everything. You already have everything that you need to be able to deal with any situation, any situation. So my nervous system, my system, everything in my body was really just adjusting to the situation and how things continue just to go right. So what we're going to dive into really deeply is this episode about something that I don't think most people talk about. So just learning how to hold that ease, whatever that is for you, whatever that is for you. Everybody's different. Everybody system is being trained different, and then the way you believe now is different. So let's just unpack, how to be able to hold whatever that is for you, your worthiness, the weight of that, and being able to be in a space where it's okay. Like, it's normal. Your norm is things working out. That's just a normal day for you. So the weight of worthiness. So I want to really define this more clear than what I've had. The weight of worthiness is not like a heavy burden. I'm not saying like this is, oh my God, this is something I have to perfect. I got to be perfect. I got to understand. This is something else I got to take home. No. It's not like that. It's weight like gravity. So it's dense substance, really capacity, really how you hold yourself and how you really are in every now moment. So belief is easy. Capacity is earned. Say that again. Belief is easy. So you believe, like you believe you should be a millionaire. Okay. You believe it. But holding that frequency, how do you do that? That takes time. It takes, because again, you have to, if you haven't done the work, and when I say work, and what I mean is that, you're working on yourself, you are understanding who you are, your full authentic self. And once you understand that, who that person is, who you are, it's not easy, but it's easier to better move forward with believing you are worth all those different things that you have in your mind that you should have. It makes it easier because there's no resistance when things show up in this multi-dimensional plane. Excuse me. There's no resistance at all. And it may be still maybe a little, but it's way less than it used to be once you understand your worth and how amazing you are. It's way less resistance. So you can believe you deserve better, but can you hold better without shrinking? That part. Can you hold better? Even just the thought of better without shrinking. Even if something happens to you and it doesn't happen to nobody else. Or people know your situation and something does happen that it's amazing, but other people know. Can you not shrink in that kind of situation? So the God, universe, source, however you want to describe it, doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you can hold. So the real questions are, can you tolerate success without guilt? Can you tolerate smooth days without bracing? That's exactly what brought this conversation up. So can you let things work without scanning for what's about to break? That's one thing too. Oh my God, everything's going so well. I know something's about to happen. I've said that before. I've thought that before. Can you move in this space just understanding? You don't have to scan. You don't have to predict. You don't have to, again, I'm not saying you just go about life and you don't plan. You don't do those things. You do those things you feel you need to do. But what I'm saying is that you're not in a space where you think less of yourself, because one, you think a certain way, and two, things start to show up for you. Still do everything that you think you should do as far as your life and eat your money and everything, your relationships, do all those different things. But understand that when the good and amazing and those things start happening for you, then again, in your mind, it's cool. But when they start to happen, can you hold that? Can you be a vessel for those things to store themselves within you? Because I mean, they're already there. You just got to remove the clutter. Remove the clutter. So worthiness isn't a thought, it's a tolerance. And there's another layer to this, because belief is one level, but knowing is another. Belief is it still negotiates with doubt. So belief still negotiates with doubt. I think I can, or you may say it and you may, I am a millionaire, or my business is thriving, but you still feel that in your gut. You still feel, but is it? I just had 3 sales yesterday, or I had no sales yesterday. Can you still believe that even though what you see is real? I put some quotations on real, because that it may show up that way now, but what is it that you're trying to hold in your system to better understand that if I move like this is how all this, whatever that is for you, can happen in the way that I see it. And then a lot of times it happens in ways that you like, wow, that happened to me. Yes, it did. So it means when challenges show up, your system responds differently. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that life is going to become challenge free. It means your system is going to respond differently. So you don't spiral. You don't collapse. You don't assume everything is falling apart. You see things very, very, very clear. It's almost like being inside a house that's on fire, but instead of panicking immediately, you feel something else first. You feel clarity. You feel the movement of the air. You see all the exits. You know where to step. You understand what's actually happening. I mean, a lot of times too, and then sometimes as well, that same kind of analogy is, you're in a space where you can't really see, but you know when you feel that everything is going to be okay. And then you just kind of you get to yourself and you can, okay, what is the very next step? Just give me the very next step. And then when next thing you know, you're moving, and you asked for that next step 3-4 steps ago, and you just, oh wow, okay, this is what I need to do. I'm saying, even when you can't see or know things clearly, but you have a feeling like this, I need to do this part. I need to do this part. So you understand what's actually happened. The heart and the way your mind and your body works together is amazing. So you use all those different things about your body, your physical body, to be able to connect to how your mind has changed. And then you start to train. You start to rewire, reprogram your body and how your nervous system and how it responds to different situations. So challenges don't disappear, but your response becomes precise instead of reactive. Your body stops interpreting every disruption as danger. Every disruption is not danger. And that's the part of recalibration. You're retraining your nervous system to understand something new. Not every problem is a collapse. Not every obstacle is a threat. Sometimes it's just information. And when you when you reach that level of steadiness, something shifts internally. You start living in anticipation of failure, that part. Man, that part. Sheesh. You start moving with clarity. That's another form of the weight of worthiness. Not believing life will be easy, but knowing you can meet whatever arrives without losing yourself. That's one main thing Not believing life will be easy, but knowing you can meet whatever situation arises without losing yourself in the process, no matter what it is. So when smooth feels unsafe, if you grew up around chaos, stress, uncertainty, very low expectations of yourself and low expectations of life, survival mode, your nervous system learn friction. Your body learn tension. Your system learn to anticipate impact. So when life flows, your body scans. Your body does scan because smooth is unfamiliar, thoroughly unfamiliar. And I'm talking about so even if your childhood and how you grew up wasn't as chaotic, still in a lot of areas you don't feel worthy of being able to have or being able to do. Again, once you understand who you are, as far as your skills, your talent, and you can be your full authentic self, then I'm telling you, the way that you think and the way that you move with yourself, because you take you everywhere you go. Once you understand that and you love that part of you and you love every part of you, I'm telling you, things just are going to get smoother. But again, if that's not something that you believe or have believed in the past, this is what I'm talking about. So the unfamiliar doesn't automatically feel safe, even if the familiar was stressful. That is why people sabotage when life moves. Self-sabotage. People say it all the time. Self-sabotage. We know what that means. So they don't trust the calm, but there's something important to understand here. This conversation will only really land if you've been doing the work, like I talked about earlier. Only if you've been doing the work, because because when you've been doing the work, something subtle starts to happen. You begin to experience small spaces of calm, because if you've been doing the work, then you will see little micro changes in your life. You'll see them like, this worked out. Okay, cool. This came through. Okay, perfect. You start to see examples of different aspects just in your life, just kind of linking together. Boom, this part, just hard. Everything, a lot of stuff coming together. The full circle hasn't really clicked in yet for whatever situation or whatever, but you still see it and you feel it like, okay, all right. So you begin to experience those small spaces of calm. So the micro moments, a quiet breath when your mind isn't racing, a situation that used to trigger you, that's when you know. That's when you know something's changed and you are in a really good space. When something that you know for sure. If this would have happened a month ago, if this would have happened 2 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, it would have been a wrap. It would have been a wrap. When I say wrap, whatever you would have done, you would have cussed everybody out. You would have flipped out. You would have felt the way. You would have retreated inward and be like, I ain't messing with nobody. Everybody get on my nerves. You would have did that. But then that situation happens and suddenly it doesn't. It just doesn't. I don't really know no other way to describe it better than that, because, and I'm gonna leave it just like that, because it just doesn't. For whatever reason, it just doesn't hit or trigger you as bad as it used to. I'm just telling you, when you have done, again, this work, and I say work, shadow work, understanding who you are, that is a lifelong process. So you're going to be forever trying to just be in a space where you understand you better, and situations are going to show up to help you understand yourself better. I promise that that's one thing that's never going to stop. So a day where things just work. Those moments may seem small, but they're evidence, they're signs that something inside of you is recalibrating. And when you experience those micro spaces, even times where it blows you away. Well, it does that enough times, you start recognizing something. Smoothness isn't random. It's something you've been working toward. So you can see it, you can feel it. You can recognize the difference between chaos and coherence. And in those moments, you may even smile because you realize something. The programming you inherit almost worked too well. Oof. It almost worked too well. So it trains your system to expect struggle. But here's really the truth, at least from my perspective. You're not limited to the conditions you were trained in. It wasn't. Not at all. So however you were brought up, however you were programmed, if you feel the need to change certain things about yourself to better help your life and help you be more clear about how you need to move, you can always change. You can always change, no matter the situations. So we are infinite beings. We know that. We know we're infinite. And part of the growth is realizing that the nervous system can be retrained. The body can learn a new rhythm, and calm can be very, very, very calm can be your friend. Calm can be your partner. Calm can be anything you want it to be. But again, instead of it being something that's unfamiliar, it becomes more familiar. So when those smooth moments appear, they're not accidents, they're glimpses of life. You're learning how to hold, and the reason you didn't sabotage it is because this time you noticed it. You observed it as evolution. I'm telling you, once you see it, even if those triggers come, because again, triggers show up. Triggers are so funny because you will think that, oh yeah, okay, boom, I'm over, not necessarily over it, but I got that under control, and it shows up in a different way. And you're like, man. And then, so you either had a choice, but you're still evolving, because now, before it would have just been just boom, snap. Now you're choosing to, okay, how do I really want to handle this? And then you may still go off the rails. I mean, you still may. I mean, hey, sometimes, and I hate to say this, but it's just real. Sometimes situations push you, or people and things just push you, where you did give them opportunity to chill, and they just didn't want chill. They didn't want it. And I hate to say that, but again, that's a choice. That's a choice. Sometimes you're just like, yo, this situation is really testing me. And you're like, okay, all right. So again, being able to be in a space where you can choose and understand what is harmonious for you and what keeps you in balance. That's really all it is. So, inherited ceilings. So a lot of us inherit not only just a lot of static and a lot of low expectations, but we inherited low ceilings. Not because we lack potential, because we lack exposure. So low expectation ceilings, low dream ceilings, low possibility ceilings. You can't even imagine beyond what you saw. But now you're in a different mindset. You're in a different space. And what may have put you there is just the way that things have showed up in your life, and you got exposed to different things. Or I know there's a big thing too. You may have children now, and you understand that I don't want them to grow up like I grew up, or I don't want them to be exposed to the negativity that I grew up around. So let me expose them to things different. But what we miss, because we're so much of doers and we're so much of people that like to see people do well, is that the same things that they're getting exposed to, for the most part, we're getting exposed to as well. We're actually retraining our nervous system. We're actually retraining our childhood by exposing, like, especially our kids, or if you got nieces, or if you got people that you just do stuff for. That part of you that wish somebody would have did that for you is now seeing that, and now you're healing that. You're healing it. So that is one way you can break through those low expectation ceilings and being in a space where life keeps responding, but your nervous system is still going to catch up, though. Still going to catch up. That's not instability. Again, it's all about calibration. All about it. It's all about it. And so this next point here could go. I could probably go for a whole hour about this point, but we're gonna just keep it where we can keep it. So relationship tension. So this is where growth becomes visible. When you change internally, the people around you may not process life the same way. They're not going to process life the same way, and you have to be in a. Excuse me. Again, life can just show up for you different, no matter what relationship it is. And you, at least for me, I have to get in a space where I don't respond to the way that life is showing up for other people, no matter who it is. You still be helpful, you still be whatever you need to be, but you cannot take on their experience as your experience. You can't. So again, picture like being at dinner. Someone's complaining about a problem, and immediately they got a problem. They got all these different things they're complaining about. It could be dinner, it could be anything. You could just be sitting, and then somebody come up to you and they start talking about all the problems. Okay, cool. And immediately you see the solution. And here's the distinction. Some people process through emotion. Some people process through solutions. That's what I had to break down to myself. Some people have to hash through the problem multiple times. They have to better understand how they can get through it. Cool. But some people process through solutions. Okay, I know what this is. I know what that is. I see it. I got it. I need to see all the solutions for what I'm trying to do. What do I need to do? So you don't need to fix everyone. You don't need to correct everyone. That part. Ooh, that part. And you don't you don't need to shrink your clarity either. So the balance. Do not shrink your steadiness. Do not weaponize your steadiness, because you can weaponize it. you can. So that's really maturity. Once you can understand, okay, I don't need to say nothing. Just chill. I don't have to prove I'm right. I'm just here to remain regulated, really. Because you can throw yourself out of balance, throw yourself out of your state that you want to be in simply by just overstating what you think is right for whatever situation. And you could be right. You could be, you could have a really great solution for someone's issue, but if they can't see it, doesn't matter how great it is. And this definitely ties right into this next point. So the know-it-all edge. So let's really unpack this part. This really goes with that last part. Like it's just another layer to this. So there's ego superiority and there's regulated clarity. Ego says, I'm above this. Regulated clarity says, I see this different. Big difference. So just because you see solutions, we see solutions, doesn't mean you're responsible for delivering them. You do not. It's not your responsibility. Even if, again, it's not your responsibility all the time to deliver them. Sometimes presence is more powerful than correction. Just your presence. That's your ability to just listen is way better, more powerful. It just hits different than you always having a solution for everything somebody comes with, every situation, every problem that they come up with. So sometimes stability is the leadership. Sometimes, if I'm being honest, I literally have to tell myself, David, shut up. Don't say nothing. Just let the situation. Don't say nothing. Because not everybody is ready to hear what you're seeing. They're not ready to hear it, not ready to see it, and not ready for whatever reason. So, good again, a lot of times we'll say, well, I gave them that solution, or I talked to them and they still didn't do nothing I said. Again, once you say that, you already know you're talking too much. Talking way too much. Way too much. Listen to the situation. Gauge the situation. Do I really need to? Nah, I don't need to say nothing. I'm gonna just listen. Oh wow, that's great. That's crazy. I can't believe that happened. Wow. Okay, man. So not everyone sees the solution or sees how to be solution minded. Not everyone will understand the perspective that you're holding, and that is totally okay. Like seriously, it's totally okay. There are moments when someone is explaining a problem, and in your mind, you can already see 5 different ways it could have been resolved. Literally, you see 5 different. Boom, boom, boom. And you just want to hand it to them. But nope, that doesn't mean that's your role to interrupt their process. It's not. Let people, the blessing is people understanding how to move through life themselves. That's the blessing. Sometimes we get in other people's way. And then once we get in other people's way, they don't do something. They were like, you ain't do nothing. That's one of my things I gotta get better with. Just laughing at situations, because stuff's funny to me. And sometimes I don't need to laugh. I don't need to do nothing but just don't say nothing. But sometimes I laugh because I'm like, you ain't see that? Again, I'm still working on myself, so I'm still working. Oh man. So there are moments when someone, again, explaining that situation, you see the solutions, but that doesn't mean it's your role to interrupt that process. Sometimes people need to express, sometimes people need to feel, sometimes people need to arrive at their own understanding. And in those moments, the real discipline is restraint. Those are the times I'll sit there and just smile to myself, not in a disrespectful way. At least I try not to be in a disrespectful way. But in a quiet realization like, wow, that's the way you see it, huh? And generally thinking, hey, that is good for you. And again, that's good. That's good. You are on your way. And again, I'm not saying it because I got all the answers or we have all the answers. I don't have to over-explain this because you understand and understand and overstand what I'm saying, because you've been in those situations. Y'all have literally been in those situations where someone's talking about something and you either have previously gave them some information, they didn't use it and stuff still went away, or they used somebody else's information and things still went crazy. And now they're coming back to you with either the situation or something happened worse. And you like, you ain't listen to what I said? No, I didn't. And then you like, then so either you say, then before you'll get in your feels, you'll be mad. See, that's wrong. Like to tell, you complaining about that. Again, you talking too much. Stop. If every time someone comes to you with issues and you keep saying they don't never listen to what I'm saying, you're talking too much. Just say, again, you don't have to get advice. You don't have to do that. Again, that's what I say. Hey, in my set, and I may not say it out loud, but I just say to myself, hey, that's good for you. Because leadership isn't always about correcting the room. Sometimes leadership is simply, and I say leadership, you're leading yourself. So it's simply staying regulated in the room. You don't have to prove you're right. You don't have to demonstrate your awareness. You don't have to insert clarity everywhere you see confusion. Sometimes the most evolved response is simply allowing people to move through their own process while you remain steady. That's maturity. That's regulation. And that's a level of clarity that doesn't need to announce itself. It really doesn't. So core reframe, this isn't about manifesting bigger. This is about normalizing the bigness, the bigger that you have in you, normalizing all of that, all the situations that happen for you that are great, and amazing, normalizing the space within yourself to be able to hold that and understand you deserve it. So it's not about convincing yourself you're worthy. Nope. It's really about learning to hold what your worth attracts. That's what that's what the byproduct of this is. Once you understand who you are, moving as your full authentic self, then you're able to hold a space that you know you're worthy, and then you start attracting, because you're not chasing now, you're attracting. You start attracting things, and once you start to attract things, understand that you're worthy of those wonderful and amazing attractions, because we're attracting stuff all the time. When you're thinking negative and a lot of bad things were, challenges, you was in that stage of just always going through challenges, you were attracting them. Now you're in a better space with your mind and your body and how you move and how you operate. Now you're going to start attracting opportunities, of course, money, everything. Nothing's off limits. Just know that nothing is off limits. So the weight of worthiness is the ability to stand in a good day without shrinking. And I say good day, but I mean like a string of like good days. Like today is just another great day. Another. Just like yesterday and the days before that. This is just another. See how that just another. It's another. Just say that. I'm telling you. Wake up. When I wake up, sit on the bed, and I say whatever comes to me. And then I always say, wow, today's going to be another great day. I say, wow, because I really I'm already blown away. So it's like, it's letting life work without bracing for impact. It's choosing not to dim when things start flowing. So practical integration. So here's how to practice these things. Just from my opinion, just a few different things. So notice your body when things go well. Ask yourself, am I bracing for impact or am I calibrating? Just ask. And we talked about calibration before. So we talk about calibration as a tool to assist whenever you're going into situations. And it really is the same thing. This is just another aspect. And talk about, calibrating when things are going well and your body, your nervous system is, saying, are we good? And you just simply say, yes, we're good. So, so let success feel normal. Don't shrink clarity to be agreeable. That part. Do not shrink your clarity to be agreeable to people that don't really understand themselves. Don't force clarity onto others. Everything working out for you is not a delusion, it's alignment. Everything working out. Everything. Like excluding nothing. It's not delusion, it's alignment. The work now is being steady enough to live inside of that. So we asked for growth, we asked for clarity, we asked for ease. Now life is responding, and the next level isn't more effort, it's more steadiness. It's learning how to sit inside a good day without looking for what's about to collapse. It's trusting that smooth isn't a trap, it's a sign. The weight of worthiness isn't about proving anything. It's about becoming someone who can stand in peace without suspicion. So if things are flowing in your life right now, don't brace, don't dim, don't shrink. Stand in it. Let it feel normal, because alignment doesn't ask you to chase. It asks you to hold. All right. So again, you want to reach out to me, please reach out. Comments, send me an email at alchemyavenue859@gmail. Or you can hit me up 336-464-7881. You can text or call that number. And of course, here on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. TikTok, I am the Alchemy Avenue. And also remember the light code prints, the 11x17 prints. If you need something, because people ask for codes, different codes for protection, love, peace, clarity, grounding, expansion, whatever it is, or I can do it and you can gift it to someone. Again, let me know, reach out to me, we can connect and we can, just figure it out. And it'll be that simple. I'll send it to you. Again, I'll send you a get, because I do, just a few different ways I do it, but we can get into that and I can let you know. And I got a lot of examples of what I do. So again, stay powerful, stay grounded, love yourself so you can love others. Ashe.